Laurie. How are you? Nice to see you.
Thank you very much. Well, look, I'm just going to kick off by asking you.
It was so much fun to work on that project because wrapping images around a three-dimensional surface is something I do a lot in my own shows, but never on a scale like this. So it's been a thrill. It's going to change a bit from night to night and get some words going on it and different little things. So it's been fun.
Great. Lou, if I might ask you a question about Metal Machine Trio. The last time you were here in 2007 was with Berlin, which was a piece that obviously was rehearsed within an extraordinary degree. It was a very, very precise piece. Now, with Metal Machine Trio, it comes from a tradition of improvisation. May I ask just with Sarth Colquhoun and Ulrich Krieger, how do you structure that evening? Is it very specific, or is it completely improvised from scratch? Or?
It's completely improvised from scratch, and we never know. We tried very hard not to have fallback positions, set piece. It's very free form right from the beginning, including instrumentation.
And the relationship between it and the album, Metal Machine Music, is Metal Machine Music a kicking off point, or do you refer back to it in the work?
Metal Machine Music is a kicking off point. Not trying to replicate that. That was something done by me in 1975 by myself. This is a trio doing improvised noise rock, and we've done around 15 shows of this. They run around an hour and a half each, and it's a lot of fun. It's very loud.
I should mention that we're really grateful Ulrich and Sarth are here, and obviously if anyone would like to talk to them later on, we're going to be around the room. Laurie, just in relation, just when I was introducing you there, I was talking about this thing of festivals, and you'd mentioned this thing of, arriving at a festival, doing the show and being put in the plane back, and that this was an opportunity to create something which was a bit more collaborative, and that just that alchemy that can happen with collaboration, which is something obviously you're very interested in. What is it that maybe we might achieve over the next 2 weeks here?
Well, the great thing about that is we just don't know. So I know a lot of festivals that I've been in have, like you said, you bring your kind of set thing that you're doing on the road, but there's no chance to play with other people. In fact, this is how Lou and I met, playing in a festival with other people. So I highly recommend it. We just live a few blocks from each other in New York, but we came to Munich to play, and they said, listen, instead of just playing your thing and like you say, going back, maybe you can work with that bass player over there or this singer over there. And so that's what we're trying to make here at Vivid, is to have this real spirit of people playing music and having a great time, not doing their kind of usual things. We're going to have a little bit of mix of that as well, but I think it's going to be really, really great fun.
Right.
So, and as Fergus has set up a really great system so that we can all kind of get the chance to do that, because it's one thing to say playing somebody else's thing, it's another thing to just be able to rehearse that and feel confident. So, and all the musicians that we've asked, I think, are really up for that part of the experience.
Great. Lou, if I could just ask you about the radio show, because one of the greatest things about this is that not only will people who can come to the performances, but we're going to have hundreds of thousands of people listening on radio to the show that you do with Hal Wilner. Whose idea was that show? How did it actually come into being?
The New York Shuffle has been on Sirius Radio. It's a subscription service in New York, and Wilner and I get together periodically just playing stuff, and I forget apropos of what we said. We're doing this anyway, we should make it a radio show. What did that mean? That means it was 2 hours something long in real time. Some people on radio, they play the first 10 seconds and the last 5 seconds. And we couldn't do that, so there was a big problem at the beginning.
Yeah.
So now we do it at my home studio in real time. And we just thought it'd be great to play music for people that maybe they hadn't heard. Especially Wilner, who's an encyclopedia. And now we brought it here. And we hope we'll do the same thing for you.
Right. Just, I might just open this up to the floor a little bit. So
Sash Bergamot from ABC Radio National. Just a couple of questions, if you don't mind. Just to Lou about metal machine music. When you released that album in '75, it was a real sort of departure from traditional musical form that you've been doing. Some people didn't get it. I just wondered what was on your mind at that time, how you came up with that concept and what it actually meant. And just off the back of that, your next album, Coney Island Baby, in conversation with metal machine music, because again, completely different. And your last sort of record for RCA, if you wouldn't just mind saying a couple of words about that for your listener.
So it's really about metal machine music into Coney Island Baby.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Coney Island Baby was... They said I could do that if I promised I didn't do Son of Metal Machine. Contrary to belief, Metal Machine was not done to get out of a contract with anyone. It was, I really like guitars and feedback, that's all. But it wasn't really labeled that way, so people thought it would have vocals and songs, and it didn't. So it was taken off the market in 3 weeks. Never to be seen or heard from again, except as a bootleg underground till 2000, when all of a sudden someone got the original tapes and put out a 25th anniversary. Pretty funny.
And just Coney Island, I'm a huge fan of that place. I mean, is that a special place for you?
Laurie and I are the king and queen of the Mermaid Parade in Coney Island this year.
Was that album sort of a tribute to Coney Island at all in some part?
Coney Island is one of my favorite places in the world.
Might just move
And
on.
I think everyone has got to write at least one song called Coney Island.
Great. We just might ask Michael.
Catherine Robinson from Music Thieves. I'm just wondering, I've got a 4-month-old puppy at home. Is there an age restriction for your dog music?
The question is that as a 4-month-old puppy, can they come along to music for dogs?
Yes, absolutely. This is I'm really looking forward to this one because I guess it was last year around this time. I was backstage with one of those graduation hats with Yo-Yo Ma. We were going to give, I guess, some graduation commencement talks to young artists, encouraging them to go on out into the art world and start paying off their student loans. So it was really, hard to come up with some positive things, but we did. And we were both talking about how we both love dogs, and we thought, wouldn't it be great if you were playing a concert and you'd look out and it was all dogs? And so I decided if I ever get the chance to do something like that, I would do it. And so we're going to do that on Saturday, the 5th. I would say that if it's all dogs are welcome, except maybe
free.
tiny little puppies.
You're
really
not
wouldn't be.
charging for dogs.
No.
Dogs are free.
All dogs under.
We're planning to do.
18, I got a border collie.
We're planning to do dogs apparently like open strings and fifth intervals. So we're going to have a number of string players. I'm also going to. They seem to respond to, since as you might guess, to human voices. So I'm going to read a little bit from a dictionary called Perfumes A to Z, and it's a whole series of very funky descriptions of smells. So it's going to be a short one, 20 minutes, and lots also wide stereo. Yeah, that's the dog show on Saturday. It's a short show.
Just here.
Seth Jordan from Rhythms Magazine. It might be assumed that some of the quieter, more reflective acts chosen for this program are yours, Laurie, and perhaps some of the louder ones are yours, Lou, but is that actually the case? Did you choose
Pretty
that?
good guess. Yeah, I would say in general that is. I mean, I love Metal Machine music and have played in it with Lou a couple of times, and that in that way. But we wanted to have a big range of work, so I think try to cover our own territories.
Ian Shedden from The Australian. Just to follow that question up, your co-curators, how much of a collaboration has it been between the two of you? And did you fight over any of the programs?
No, I think we have we agree on pretty much everything in terms of musicians, and yeah.
Just here.
Yes, Laurie, can I ask you specifically, the character, sorry, my name is Graham Reid from New Zealand, the character Fenway that you have invented, what does that character allow you to do?
Fenway.
Yeah.
Fenway, yeah.
Fenway.
This is a character called Fenway Bergamot. Yeah.
What does that character allow you to do as like a persona that you hadn't been able to do previously?
This is an electronic filter that I've used since the late 70s, and it drops the voice down to there, which I can't do without losing it. And I invented it as a kind of alter ego because, you know, you just get sick of the sound of your own voice after a while, just nattering on, you know. And it also is a way to invent a character who can, I guess, talk a little bit more like what's moving through your mind at the moment, instead of. So it's a very jump cut style, inspired by William Burroughs and Herman Melville too, who was able to jump from topic to topic, sentence by sentence. So that's and I suppose also just to get out of my own point of view, which is artist, New Yorker, woman. And so I thought, well, what if I could really try to see the world in a different way? And if you have a seriously altered voice, you just tend to say things and see things too differently. So that's why.
Just here. There was a candle just here. Anne-Marie.
Hi, Anne-Marie Nicholson, ABC TV. A lot of people have a lot of trouble being married together. I wonder how you two find it being married and working together.
Let's do it together.
Pretty well, I think.
We knew who the other one was when we met 18 years ago. And we've been married 17.
Just over here.
It doesn't surprise me that she plays violin or that she's created Fenway Bergamot.
From the age of Melbourne, I was wondering if your next album will be a recording with the trio, or whether you're thinking of recording another solo album, or like your last album.
Whether your next album might be with the trio, or if you have any other ideas in terms of what it might be, what your next piece of work might be.
I have plans with Metal Machine Trio and its various offshoots and ways of doing things. I haven't figured out just what would be a great thing to do right now that would make a difference for me, for you, lyrically, in some music. Because you've got an awful lot of bands doing this, that, and the other thing. You don't need me to do that. And I don't want to do that anymore anyway. So I'm trying to figure out what would be a really astonishing thing to do with it?
I'm going to have to just probably just go for one or two more questions just here.
Lou Antonino from Cream Magazine. You play guitar on one of Laurie's new songs, Only an Extra, on the new album Homeland. Is there any chance we'll hear a whole album of collaboration between the two of you?
Good idea.
I personally think little bitty things together, but not a whole thing. I think Laurie does what she does, I do what I do, and when they cross each other, that's a really good thing, but it shouldn't be what we do. She still has this, and I'm somewhere around here.
It's just beside her.
Lou and Laurie collectively, Matt King from 99.3 Sydney, you've both been on each other's records. Laurie's Bright Red with that wonderful In Our Sleep, and The Raven, Call on Me. Sort of follows on from that. Any chance that both of you are going to join each other during the festival on stage?
One never do know. We're here 2 weeks.
And
It's
we're here to play.
hard to believe we're not going to cross-pollinate in public.
Okay, I'm just going to do this one and that one then, just over here.
Hi, Sean Rubenstein Dunlop from ABC Radio as well. I'm just wondering what attracted you to come here to work on this festival, and what your hopes are for what effect on Sydney this sort of selection of artists that perhaps aren't that well known to the broader populace will have.
Well, from my point of view, I thought this is a great opportunity to have fun, come over, play stuff that we really like, with musicians we really like, show movies we really like that maybe you haven't gotten a chance to see, but we have. And here's a wonderful opportunity with really great technical availability to show some stuff you might not know about. And that might be really great fun for you. And the fun for us is putting it together. Everything in here is something we really, really like. That's why it's here.
Another reason is the freedom that Fergus has given us to be really comprehensive, do Tai Chi outside and do all sorts of other types of events that involve people just passing by kind of going, what's that? So I love the excitement of a port city. And there's something about a lot of people down by the water and doing stuff that's so exciting. So that was my inspiration in coming here.
Especially at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
This is our last one just here. Sorry. Was there one more question there?
Well, there's one more thing I wanted to add. We brought a martial arts instructor with us, and we're going to give free lessons every day for X number of days. I'll be there. One of the guys from Metal Machine Trio studies with me, with this teacher, Ren Guangyi. And we're going to show you some stuff, and if you want to learn it, it's our pleasure to show it to you. Along with that is a couple of martial arts movies that we're seeing how they play out here. So it's a night of music for dogs, soft music, and martial arts.
Okay, on that note, can I thank everyone for their questions and thank the Minister. Richard just wanted to say a few words.
We're just going to hold on stage here for some photographs briefly as a group. Otherwise, thank you all very much for coming.
Great, thank you.